Okay, so for this sequence here, I hope you can see that the rule here is take away 7. You can see it's reducing, okay? You see it's reducing, so that would be subtract 7, or you can write take away 7. Now in this case, it is going down, the sequence, but the gap is different if you check, because the gap there is 3, isn't it? But the gap there is much bigger. So in this case, it's a divide when we're reducing, right? Because it's getting smaller. The question is what it's dividing by. What do we divide 16 by to get 4? And you're actually dividing by 4, aren't we? Okay, that's what the rule is there. Number 9 is a little tricky, right? And it brings up the point that we need to check the gap between each term. So the gap there is 1, but the gap here is 2, and the gap here is 3. So let's think about what the next gap is going to be. Of course, it's going to be 4, yeah? So what's the next gap going to be? Because we want the next term. Well, you can see the gap is increasing, isn't it? The gap is increasing by 1 each time. So if we add on 5 this time, you get 18. And when it comes to describing this, you can literally say, look, the gap is increasing. The gap increases by 1 extra each time. Number 10 then, again, careful now to check each gap. So the gap there is 6, isn't it? It'll be going down 6, and then we're going down 5, and then we're going down 4, and then we're going down 3. So the gap is reducing, but we are taking away, aren't we? It's going down. So the next gap, of course, then is going to be take away 2. So if I take away 2 from 2, you get 0. And then the next gap, to be consistent here, now I'm only going to take away 1, yeah? So if I take away 1 from 0, I get negative 1. So those are my 2 terms there. Finally then, with sequences on this sheet, we've got a sequence and starts with 8. Equal amounts are added each time to get to the next term. Write down the 3 missing terms of the sequence. So the way I did this, the way I look at this is look at how many gaps there are. So we've got 1 gap there, another gap there, another gap there, and another gap there. So in total there's 4 gaps. Yeah? So there's 4 like increases, yeah? Increases, so we get to 26. So if we look at the overall gap, to get from 8 to 26, well 26 take away 8 is 18. So we've got to somehow now split this 18, okay, into 4 jumps, okay? So there's 4 gaps. So we're going to do 18 shared by 4 to work out what each gap is worth. So if I share 18 by 4, that's easy because you just got to halve it and halve it again. So half of 18 is 9. Half of that again is 4.5. So literally each gap is 4.5, okay? So if I add 4.5 onto 8, I get 12.5. If I add 4.5 on again, think about that, I'll get 17. If I add 4.5 on again, I get 21.5. And if I add 4.5 on, I get to 26.